Welcome to St. John's Lutheran's Devotional for the week of March 21st. The lesson for this week actually is the gospel for this Sunday. It is John 12, verses 20 through 26. Now, among those who went up to worship at the festival were some Greeks. They said to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, They came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and said to him, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." Philip went and told Andrew, then Andrew went, and Philip went and told Jesus. Jesus answered them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Very truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Those who love their life will lose it, and those who hate their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also. Whoever serves me, the Father will honor." Here ends reading the gospel. Praise to you, O Christ. Dear friends, what is one of the first things you do during your morning routine? Of course, turn on the coffee. But I bet you dollars to donuts somewhere in your morning routine you stand in front of a mirror. Some of us for a long period of time, some of us for a shorter period of time. But we stand there and look at ourselves in the mirror. And exactly what do we see? This whole idea of a mirror is actually a modern thing. More modern than most of us would want to think. We think about how many hours we spend in front of that mirror each and every morning, prepping, primping, looking closely, wondering how old we grew overnight, wondering if that wrinkle was there the day before. In ancient times, mirrors were a luxury, something for the very rich. Others had to make do with anything that they could, shining up a piece of metal so that they could get a reflection out of it. It was a dim reflection, much the less. Thus we get the whole idea when Paul writes that we see in a mirror dimly. When in his time the best reflection for average, ordinary people could be seen in a very still pool of water. If you could find one that is actually clear and still. Now I think about my teenage years, the time I spent before the mirror. More than some, less than other people. Deciding how I was going to comb my hair for that day. You see, back then I actually had hair. Before I went to school, I had my usual routine. And that even became more of a routine in my college years. Then I was on my own. That mirror reflected back what others were going to witness for that day, good, bad, or otherwise. It was a reflection of who I was and how I was feeling. Yes, and if it was a date night, yes, once upon a time I had those, then you pull out all the stops because you want to make a good impression, at least most times. Reflections are very important, and in the world of faith, they take on a whole new dimension. We find in this text a couple of Greeks that are looking for Jesus, and they go through a number of people like Philip and Andrew. Jesus tells Philip and Andrew that there will come a day when he will no longer be with them, when he will no longer be present in the same physical manner, and that his disciples, his followers, will then take on this core responsibility. When people wish to see Jesus, where will they go? To his followers. And they will see Jesus through them. How they acted, how they appeared, what they said and what they did, because ultimately they were a reflection of their leader, a reflection of the one who gave of his life for them. Likewise, we too are a reflection. We reflect our upbringing, our parents, and the place where we grew up. Quite often, I am told that I sound just like a person that comes from Wisconsin because I speak in a certain way and I say the word Wisconsin in a certain way. Now, when people visit our town, right here, right now, we become actually walking billboards that tell people what to expect, whether we like it or not. This is what people hear and experience. They see you, they see me. And the same could be said of the church. I've often told people that I remain the same person, whether you see me in the back of the church or in the aisle, the produce section. I realize that as a public person, you carry that persona with you, and people see you at all times. You as members of this congregation do the same, both inside and outside the church walls. You are a reflection of the one in which you have faith. When people approach, they might not be as bold as those Greeks, but when they see you, they might be simply asking the same question, the same comment. We want to see Jesus. So the question remains, what or whom do we reflect? What do our actions, our morals, and our speech reflect? Way back when, there remains an old camp song that we used to sing, entitled, "They Will Know That We Are Christians by Our Love." Probably some of you remember it. Some of us remember singing it quite loud. Just how do we embody those lyrics? How do our lives reflect this one that we claim on Sunday mornings? And also the one who claims us each and every day. It might not be an easy question to answer, and something that we might have to struggle over, and that's okay. Because our faith, God's love, should come shining through us in who we are, in what we say, and what we do. God should reflect it through us, so that through us, people are able to see Jesus, and there is no mirror required.